Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and if you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. Now, I did feature this in my December monthly overview plan with me video, so this may seem familiar to some of you, but what this is this is the part 2 of my 4-part series on newbie to newbie, starting my planner journey and kind of documenting some of the tips and thoughts and hacks that I've come across and I've started utilizing along the way. So let's just jump right in. So the first part of this series was the first 5 things. So this next part will be 6 through 10. And why it's open to this is because I watch Rebecca from Rebecca's Roadmap, and I will link her channel below. But she creates little vignettes in her planner. I don't know that I've ever seen her use a Happy Planner sticker book. The sticker books she picks up from Michael's. It's those dollar sticker books. Again, you'll need to watch her videos because there's no Michael's or Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Tuesday Morning, Dollar Tree. There's none of those shops here in Hawaii, so I can't pull out one to show you. But she uses the it's usually a holiday themed dollar sticker book. She also takes some scrapbook paper that she has and she cuts out using her Happy Planner punch. I don't have one of those, but she uses that. And then she makes little background sections in her planner. And if you're doing it on the monthly, like I tried it out on, it's a little bit more difficult because the boxes are smaller. She typically does it on her weekly spread, and the boxes are bigger. So there's a tip on that. But then what she does is she layers her Michael's, Dollar Tree, whatever her stickers are from, she layers them and she makes these cute little vignettes, and I just think they're so adorable. And because she isn't using the MAMBI products, I think her spreads really stand out because you don't really see them on like Instagram, because I follow a lot of planners on Instagram, and eventually the pages all start look the same. But if you're creating things like this, although I suppose you could do the same with your Happy Planner stickers, you could create little vignettes there. I just think it's super dynamic. And I will try this again. I am thinking about getting the 2 different sized Happy Planner punches, the blue one and the pink one for the classic and the big Happy Planner, and using some of the scrapbook paper I have. I make a lot of traveler's notebooks, so I have infinite amount of scrapbook paper. This is just stickers from the Happy Planner sticker books that I have, and then these are some Walmart dollar stickers that I had in my stash. So that was tip number 6. Tip number 7 is I watched, and I don't know her name. I tried to search for it in her videos as well as in her About page, but from Planner Love Imprintables, she had her own hack video, and I believe it was like 5 hacks for your Happy Planner, or just 5 hacks for your planner journey. And what she says is create your own inserts. Now, because this is a big Happy Planner, it would be really easy. You would just take a standard copy paper, and because this is 8.5 by 11, and you would just punch the holes in it, either with a single hole punch and then you cut the slits, or if you have the Happy Planner punch, it just you put them in that way, and then you can make your own inserts. I've kind of tweaked that for my needs because I don't actually put any copy paper in here. But for my mini Happy Planner, what I've done is, And I have changed the cover, so if you have been following me, this is a different cover than I featured the last time, and I made this. But what I have been doing is making my own inserts, utilizing some of the things that I have. And I actually have a better example back here. So this is actually from a planner accessory pack that is for the classic size. Now clearly this is bigger than this book. I mean, you can tell it's bigger. But I have an absolute love affair with dot grid paper, and I also wanted some writing paper in here that the mini Happy Planner just doesn't give you. So I cut down that sheet, and it seemed to be perfect to fold in half, and so I have my own little tip-in, and I created my own insert, and I love this. But something else I've also done is I used to work out of a bullet journal traveling notebook kind of deal, so I had these notebooks, and that's what I was using before. There are quite a few of the pages in the notebooks that I had left over, and I don't want it to go to waste, so I've been just cutting these out using an X-Acto knife, and I have been cutting them down to size so that they fit on this level, and then I've been folding them back and then gluing it down and then punching it. And this one you'll see, I don't know if you can see that. Let me find a darker. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. It's round because I was just using a single hole punch, because at the time I didn't have the big Happy Planner punch that I have, the one that makes these slits, but it works just as fine. It's just a little bit more time consuming. But the ones that I will make in the future, I'll just use my punch and it'll go by even quicker. So again, tip number 7, make your own inserts if you can't find either in your area, if you're limited in store availability like I am, or if there's just certain things that you prefer, because again, I love dot grid paper. If I could afford it, I would do everything in dot grid paper, including at work. Number 8, is, I'll keep this one out, is the Transformer hack from Lindsay, from Whimsy Lindsay Plans, and I'll link her channel below as well. So I have changed out my mini Happy Planner. This is actually different from what I've been using before, and you can pop over to my plan with me for this week. Well, I'll talk about this. But what makes this a transformer versus a Franken planner, because that's different, and I will talk about that as well, is when you Franken plan, well, I guess I will talk about it now. So when you Franken plan, you basically, if you have the Mom Life dashboard, if you have the Fit, if you have a vertical planner, if you have the horizontal planner, you can change out the inserts on a weekly, daily, monthly basis and kind of play Mary Shelley and be, make your own Frankenstein, where you fit the parts in where you need it that work best for you. Now, the difference between that and a transformer is I've got this in 3 sections. So this is the planner cover that it came with, right? This front section is just some inserts and things that some paper inserts that I carry around. And then you turn it around and you've got your Happy Planner. Now for me, I keep this first section with all of the upcoming monthly pages as well as the weekly pages. And then I've got the corresponding dashboard that again I've created. Turn that, flip it, and now you've got an entirely new section of your planner. And in this section, I keep all of my monthly bills and payments. Again, for me, it's easier to just have corresponding dashboards so I know where they end. I flip that, turn it over, and I'm in another section of my planner so that I can keep everything separate and yet everything together. And and I'm hoping this is how she was envisioning it, but I'm thinking Optimus Prime. So, you know, you transform your planner into multiple planners versus having all of this in the same sections that you have to keep moving. And then this is the final section where I just keep some personal information. Flip it over again. This is the back of the original cover, as you can tell. And then you are back at the beginning of your planner. And I think this is an awesome idea because I don't necessarily want to have my bills mixed in with my monthly or my weekly just because of the way that I do my bills. Or if I'm doing bullet journal style trackers, I don't necessarily want to have them here because eventually I'm going to migrate this out just because it'll get too thick. But I can keep my sections here and then just change out the dashboards as I see fit just for the seasons. And once the holiday session is over, I will be doing that. Next series is a DIY folder. Now there's actually two ladies that I'll link their videos below. And again, I'll definitely link their channels, but if I can't find the specific videos because you know, I didn't save them in my playlist, then I'll at least get you into the right direction. So Rebecca from Rebecca's Hoot and Frances from Frivolous Frances, they both have videos out there. They're DIY tutorial videos on how to create some folders. Now, it is different than this that I showed you in the first video where you're creating a dashboard. And there are actually two different functions for dashboards. So for instance, this October page here is considered a dashboard as it is just basically a tab to divide your different monthly sections. A different version of a dashboard is this, where you can add in things and keep supplies on hand so that you have it, you know, all in one place. Especially if you take yours on the go, then you'll have the things that you need and use right where you need to use them. Now, the tip hack DIY from Rebecca and Frances is they used some scrapbook paper and created some really interesting folders. Well, I've done an even easier version where this, and I don't have any of the originals, I actually used them all, but this I found in the Target dollar spot, and it was actually punched for the ring binder I guess they're selling. So I cut it down and then I punched holes and I've created my own folder. Now the one from Hackin Planner definitely is easier to use and it fits better. But again, if you are starting like I am and you're a newbie, then if you have scrapbook paper on hand, watch their tutorials and you can create your own. If you've got some already folder pockets from other projects, punch them, stick them in your planner, you're good to go. This whole series is really geared towards newbies, but even for the veterans, if it's just something that you want to be more mindful and you want to shop your stash, and I'll talk about that in the next video. Use what you have and then just make it work for you. It doesn't have to be Instagram worthy. This certainly isn't. I mean, this one is, except when you open it and it's super plain Jane. But this one, it's functional and it works. And because I do use stencils in my weekly plan with me's, it's a great place to put it. So that's tip number 8. No, tip number 9. Sorry, I've got my notes on the side of me and I keep moving things in front of it. And yeah, okay. Last tip, tip number 10 for this second part series, I think is ingenious. So, and it's sort of a hybrid kind of tip. If I go to October, and this hybrid tip is from 2 different planners. So what I'll be talking about in tip number 10 is a Hackin Planner as well as a in two different versions, I guess you should say. So Kristen from Kristen Murphy's channel talked about Hackin Planning, which is different from Franken Planning, which is different from Bella from the Modest Cat, who does a Happy Bujo, which is also another, in my mind, another Hackin Planning version. So for Kristen, what she said was she had picked up I think it was a 2019 calendar that she wanted to use in 2018, or maybe she had a 2017 that she wanted to use in 2018, whatever it was, and I'll link the video below. She didn't really want to redate everything, so her Hackin plan, which again is different from a Franken plan, was she flipped through the calendar that was obviously dated incorrectly. And so the reason I have November here is this is November 2018, and the first starts on a Thursday. So if you had purchased a dated calendar that was in the wrong year, what she suggested is, instead of redating the entire thing, find something in the planner that you have that aligns with the dates. So for instance, and I don't know if you're getting where I'm going, is if I wanted to use this now, I could just cover up the 2019, I could cover up the August, and I have a November dated calendar. I mean, all the dates align, except, you know, there's no 31 days, but again, it's way easier to do it this way than it is to date every single day. And that's genius. That's a genius move right there. So that's the first part of this Hackin Planner, where, you know, you just make what you have used and then you just cover up what doesn't work. Cool. The second part, and again, that's from Bella from the Modest Cat, was she has turned, and she's actually created actual Happy Planner. She uses her actual Happy Planner in a bullet journal style. So she has her own inserts that she writes in, just like you do with a bullet journal, a cover sheet, the weekly spreads, and she does it, you know, purely bullet journal style, but she just uses inserts for her Happy Planner because you can take them in and out. My version of that is I've taken my Happy Planner page and I've turned it into a functional, at least for me, bullet journal page, because I do prefer a bullet journal style. And so that's how I've hacked my planner, just like Bella, just like Kristen, to fit my needs. So this is actually a vertical planner, and I do prefer this style versus the horizontal, but for this planner, this is my social media and business planner, I like the dashboard layout. And Tarshell B is the one who inspired me, and I'm always gonna give a shout out to her, because I would never have thought to do my version of her version had I not seen her version. So tip number 10, just to recap, is if you need to redate your calendar and you have some old calendars, then try to see if you can find a calendar that lines up to the dates of the month, at least for the monthly spread. And although it would work for the weekly spreads as well, because then you would just have to just change up the tops. And then if there's any holidays for that month, you'll just have to cover that up. But again, way easier than redating everything. And then Bella's idea of making the planner and hacking it so that you're utilizing the ring system, you're utilizing the easy functionality of having rings that the pages are removable, and yet hacking it to make it work for you. For her, bullet journal. For me, bullet journal. She coined the phrase Happy Bujo. I don't know that anyone else has, and so I definitely have turned this into a Happy Bujo, and I'm thankful that I've stumbled across their channels just for those ideas alone. So again, this was the Newbie to Newbie 6 through 10, and I hope it's not too disjointed. I've got my notes to the side of me and I've got everything planned out in front of me, but sometimes I think I tend to ramble. So if I do, leave a comment, and I really try to work on that. And I'll try to edit this, so if there is anything that doesn't seem clear when I'm listening to this, then I'll definitely go back and try to fix it. But again, I'm a newbie. This is my second month of doing this, both planning in a happy planner as well as doing YouTube videos. I actually kind of started that around the same time. So, you know, learn from me, learn from my mistakes, and we can grow together. So as always, guys, aloha.